The wrong woman can destroy your life, not with one big dramatic moment, but with slow damage, lost focus, drained money, broken confidence, and years you can't get back. Because some women don't come to build, they come to consume your attention, your protection, your resources, your peace, then leave you emptier than they found you. And the painful truth is this: most men don't lose because they're weak. They lose because they ignore early signs and call it love until it's too late. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 types of women you should never date. Not to bash women, but to protect your future. Clear patterns, real-life behaviors, the stuff that usually looks small at the beginning, then becomes a trap later. And I'm not just listing signs. I'll show you the mindset that keeps men stuck, how these situations actually play out, and what to do so you don't become another man learning the hard way. Now, let's begin. 1. The liar by omission. This one is dangerous because it doesn't look like lying at first. She doesn't always say something false. She just doesn't say the part that matters. She gives you the version of the story that keeps her looking clean and keeps you moving forward. And at the beginning, you don't even notice it because the vibe is good. The attraction is strong. The conversations are sweet. You think you're building something real. But slowly, you start catching a strange feeling. You're always almost clear, but never fully clear. You ask a direct question, and somehow you get an answer that sounds good, but doesn't actually answer. You ask about something important, and she makes it sound like you're doing too much for wanting clarity. You notice details changing, timelines shifting, names appearing late, little facts showing up weeks later like they're nothing. And that's the trap. Because when the truth comes late, it doesn't come as truth. It comes as a surprise, a shock, a betrayal. And the worst part is this: when you react, she doesn't focus on what she hid. She focuses on your reaction. She tries to make you feel wrong for noticing what's wrong. She'll say you're overthinking. She'll call you insecure. She'll act like you're policing her life. But you're not asking for control. You're asking for honesty. A mature woman can be private without being slippery. A mature woman can set boundaries without playing confusion games. Omission is not, "I forgot." Omission is, "I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to decide with full information." And if she's comfortable doing that early, when she's still trying to impress you, then later, when she's comfortable, it doesn't get better. It gets more advanced. Most men fail here because they see the inconsistency and try to compensate. They try to be more patient, more understanding, more cool. They tell themselves, maybe she'll open up later. But later is when you're already invested. Later is when you've already attached your ego to the relationship. Later is when you start negotiating with your own standards. And that's why the second type is even more dangerous. 2. The transactional dater. This type doesn't date with her heart first. She dates with a calculator. She's not thinking, is he a good man? She's thinking, what can he do for me? And how fast can I get it? And let me be clear. Providing is not the problem. A masculine man provides naturally. The problem is when she treats you like a service, not a partner. You feel it in the tone. Conversations start sounding like invoices. The warmth shows up when spending shows up. Respect becomes something you earn by giving, not something you receive because you're a man standing on his principles. Everything becomes indirect pressure. She doesn't always ask directly. She suggests, she hints, she expects. And if you don't meet the expectation, the energy changes. She gets cold, distant, irritated. not because you did something evil, because you didn't perform the role she assigned you in her mind. Then come the lines that are designed to manipulate a man's ego. A real man knows what to do. If you wanted to, you would. Other men don't struggle with this. I'm used to a certain lifestyle. And a lot of men fall for it because they don't want to look weak. They don't want to be seen as incapable. So they start proving themselves, not realizing they're stepping into a contract. Once you accept the contract, it never ends. Because it's not about the thing she asked for. It's about the pattern. Affection is tied to what you provide. And you don't notice how drained you've become until one day you wake up and realize you've been paying to be treated well. A serious woman appreciates effort. But she doesn't reduce love to transactions. She can enjoy nice things and still respect you when you're not spending. She can value provision without turning you into an ATM with feelings. Most men fail here because they confuse expensive with high value. They think difficulty is proof. They think constant demands mean she's special. No, high value is not expensive. High value is consistent. And when you meet a transactional dater, you usually meet the third type right beside her. Because the woman who wants benefits without commitment often wants to look single while collecting those benefits. Before we go deeper, do me one favor. Hit the like button so this video can reach more men who quietly need this truth. Thanks very much. Let's continue. 3. Single in public, taken in private. This one breaks men slowly. Because in private, she can be sweet. She can call you her man. She can text you all day. She can cuddle you, claim you, make you feel chosen. But outside, she's still available. Not always by words, by behavior. She avoids being seen with you. She dodges introductions. She posts her life, her outfits, her nights out. But your existence is missing like a deleted chapter. And when you notice it, she doesn't address the pattern. She gives you a clean excuse. I'm a private person. I don't like people in my business. Why do you need to be posted? And listen, privacy is real, but secrecy is different. Privacy is protecting the relationship. Secrecy is protecting options. You can feel the difference in small moments. She'll accept your time, your money, your effort in private, but she won't stand beside you openly, like she respects you. And that creates a specific kind of weakness in a man. You start feeling like you're not enough. You start competing with ghosts. You start doing more, giving more, trying to become worthy of being claimed. But the issue was never your worth. It was her intention. If she's proud to receive from you but uncomfortable being seen with you, then you're not her man in the full sense. You're the man she benefits from while keeping her public image open. Most men fail here because they don't want to look controlling. So they swallow discomfort and call it maturity. Then one day they find out they were hidden for a reason they never wanted to admit. And that leads directly into the 4th type. Because once a woman knows you'll tolerate confusion, she can start controlling you emotionally. 4. She weaponizes sex, affection, or silence. This one doesn't come loud. It comes subtle. At first, she's affectionate, warm, consistent. But over time, you notice something. Love starts behaving like a lever. When you're behaving the way she likes, you get warmth. When you're not, the warmth disappears. Not always with a fight. Sometimes with silence. Sometimes with coldness. Sometimes with distance that feels like punishment. You'll feel yourself trying to get back to the good version of her. You'll replay conversations in your head. You'll ask yourself what you did wrong, even when you did nothing wrong except speak up. And that's the conditioning. She starts training you to associate boundaries with losing peace. So you choose peace over truth. You choose quiet over self-respect. You start shrinking. And a man who shrinks long enough becomes bitter, reactive, insecure. Then she uses that to justify treating him worse. A mature relationship doesn't run on punishment. A mature woman communicates discomfort. She doesn't use intimacy like a remote control. Most men fail here because silence triggers pride and anxiety. They chase, they explain, they overtext, they negotiate. And every time they do that, the weapon gets stronger. And once she realizes she can control you with mood and affection, the next thing is easy. Because now she can openly keep other men around for benefits and still act innocent. 5. She keeps multiple providers and calls them friends who help. This is the modern trap. Because a woman can look single and still be funded like she's in a relationship. One guy sends transport sometimes. One guy pays bills when she needs. One guy buys hair, nails, groceries. Another one is always available for emergencies, and she calls them friends. Just friends who help. But grown men don't consistently fund a woman for nothing. Money doesn't move like that without expectations, entitlement, or emotional strings. Even if she swears nothing is happening, the deeper issue is still there. She is comfortable receiving relationship-level support without relationship-level commitment. So what happens when you become her man? You don't become the only provider. You become the main provider, while the others stay in the background. And the moment you hesitate, the moment you slow down, the moment you say, "Not this time," she already has a network. Most men fail here because they don't want conflict. They don't want to be the insecure guy. So they accept a setup that will always make them feel replaceable. And if you're replaceable, respect becomes optional. And that's when the next type comes in. Because to keep you giving, she'll start selling you an entire future that doesn't exist yet. 6. She sells you dreams to keep you paying. This one is smooth. She doesn't beg. She markets. She gives you hope with big words. We'll build together. I see you as my husband. I've never met a man like you. You're different. And it feels good. Because men don't just want sex. Men want meaning. Men want legacy. Men want to feel chosen for who they are. So when she speaks future, you invest more. More protection, more time, more money, more patience. But the future is always coming, never arriving. The relationship stays undefined. The loyalty stays unclear. The effort stays one-sided. And every time you want structure, she flips it into emotion. Why are you rushing? Why can't you just trust me? I thought you loved me. So now you're scared to ask for clarity? Because asking makes you the villain. That's how men get trapped. By being turned into the bad guy for wanting basic direction. Most men fail here because they don't want to lose her. So they keep paying and hoping the words turn into actions. But time doesn't turn words into actions. Character does. And if she has to keep you attached with dreams, it's because the reality isn't strong enough to keep you. And that brings us to the final type. Because even when there's no money involved, some women will still destroy your peace simply because they're addicted to attention. 7. The attention addict. This type isn't always evil, but she's dangerous for a man who values peace. Because she's not loyal to you first. She's loyal to validation. She needs to feel wanted, constantly. So even when she's with you, she behaves like she's still advertising herself. Flirty messages, orbiters, male best friends with blurry boundaries, posting for thirst, keeping exes close just in case, doing things that look innocent on the surface, but disrespectful when you understand intention. And the worst part is how normal she tries to make it look. She'll call it being friendly. She'll call it networking. She'll call it you're insecure. But a man can feel when his woman is for him and when his woman is for attention. A woman who respects you doesn't keep feeding the outside world a version of herself that says, "Come try your luck." She can be beautiful, social, confident, and still disciplined. Most men fail here because they think they can outlove it. They think giving more will make her settle down. But attention addiction doesn't settle down just because you're a good man. It settles down when she has self-control. And if she doesn't, you'll always feel like you're sharing her with the world. This isn't about hating women. This is about choosing the right woman before you lose years. Because the wrong woman doesn't just waste your time. She drains your confidence. She distracts your mission. She slowly turns you into a version of yourself you don't respect. So don't argue with red flags. Don't negotiate with patterns. Don't try to be the hero. Walk away like a man who knows his value. Because the strongest men aren't the ones who handle the wrong woman. They're the ones who recognize her early and keep their peace intact.